What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about?
Former WWE and TNA team All Elite joined AEW. Hey guys, this is the Wrestling Maniac. Welcome to my channel. Make sure to subscribe, share, like. If you like this channel, do all that. Join membership down below. But yeah, so former WWE and TNA team of WWE, the Iconics, and TNA, the IInspiration, WWE, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, TNA, Jessica McKay, I think that's her name, and Cassie Lee, right? The real names. All right, so after WWE, they released from WWE, they formed the IInspiration TNA. They were there for a few years. Then they kind of took a hiatus. They wanted to do some other things. Acting. Pam Royce got pregnant, because she's married to Sean Spears of NXT, WNXT, former Ty Dillinger in WWE, and also Sean Spears himself in AEW. But then they came back recently for a little bit in TNA this last year. Tag team titles, and they dropped it. Now they were free agents, and they were free to go anywhere. So they made an appearance on an AEW house show in Australia, and they're both from Australia. They're both Australian, obviously. So no better way to make the debut. I know it was in a house show, so it wasn't televised. A little bit, to me, that's a little bit underwhelming because they're notable. They're not like a team nobody heard about. They're notable. They've been on WWE TV. I mean, they've been on WrestleMania. I think they won the titles at WrestleMania, tag team titles at WrestleMania, I believe. But it looks like they actually might have signed with All Elite, and it looks like they already have their first storyline going with because they challenged the team of the Brawling Birds. The Brawling Birds are Alex Windsor, Jamie Hayter. And it looks like they challenged them, but then they backed out for a future match. But I'm going to take this article, and I think it's confirmed that they are All Elite. The IInspiration to make AEW debuts House Rules event on February 15th confirmed they are All Elite. So you see the picture. They're dressed in Australian-like gear, inspired gear, and they're blonde, right? Jessie McKay, Billie Kay on the left, Peyton Royce, Cassie Lee on the right. The IInspiration are All Elite after making their AEW debut at their company's House Rules event on February 15th. The IInspiration, Cassie Lee, Justin McKay, spent the second half of 2026 with TNA, winning the company's Women's Tag Team Championship before losing the titles in January of that year, exiting the promotion. Now they have popped up and announced they have signed with the new company. Oh, so they are Elite. All right, yeah, they are Elite. Okay. Yes. All right. So they're officially Elite. The women's. All right. This is big. They're a big get because there are teams in WB. WB. Not WB. AEW has the women are aligned. There's really no singles women out there. A lot of them are in the tag team, right? Brawling Birds formed. Bill Nigel, Hardy Cameron, right? You got even trios with Triangle Madness, the trio that just formed last night with Lena Cross, is her name? Penelope Ford, Mega Bain. So yeah, I mean this is not surprising. The women in AEW have formed, but this is an actual team. This is an actual team because this team before WWE they go way back. They're friends. Way before they signed in WWE. And then in WWE, they came up together and formed the Iconics, right? Iconic, right? They got released and they went to TNA for a little bit. Had success in TNA as an inspiration. They couldn't use Iconic's name. And they couldn't use the names they use in WWE because WWE owns those names. But it looks like they're fishing AEW. This is it was either they're going to go back to WWE or AEW for them. Because both brands would have benefited from this. For WWE side of things, the women that are aligned with each other, most of them are single superstars, right? Most of them are single superstars, but together as a team, right? In AEW, some of them are, but some of them are actual tag teams, right? The thing is, I don't know much about the women outside of WWE that much and the independents, but I believe more than the men, the women are more single stars than male star. The male, they're singles. They're mostly singles than the doubles. I could be wrong. My independent knowledge is I have some independent knowledge a little bit. Like I know some. I mean, I pay attention a little bit, but I'm not like an expert. I'm not like hardcore. But of course, the right place to make their debut would be Australia because that's where they're from. But it looks like they are all elite. Okay. So they did have a match against. They did have a match. Frankie B and Aisha. I don't know who they are. Then they had and then they did a. And then they invited a team down to the continued production, and that's when the Balding Birds responded to them, and then they backed out. They're going to be a heel team, obviously. They're going to be a heel team because that's what they mostly were in WWE, is that they were a heel team. I believe TNA a little bit, they were mostly a heel, right? I wonder if we can show this clip. Okay, so they are officially All Elite. They started with All Elite Wrestling, AEW. So yeah, but this is how you see what a success will have, man. But yeah, but like wrestling fans, you know who they are. AEW fans know who they were, obviously. Because AEW fans have the hardcore fans who know more of outside of wrestling. Obviously, WWE fans know who they are. So yeah, IInspiration makes their AEW debut. They are officially All Elite. This is not like where they're signed by base of appearance. It looks like they're All Elite. They have a contract of AEW. Okay. But I understand this was on a house show. I mean, it would have been better if they did it on the on just on Grand Slam. Find a way to have them on Grand Slam TV. You could have done something different. Instead of Lena Cross continuing to beat down with Mega Bane and Penelope Ford, you could have done that. You could have had Harley Cameron and William Nigo win. That okay. You could have had something else, and you could have inspiration music hit, and just on the ramp, kind of promo say they're all elite, something like that. I mean, it would have been better. I think it would be a little bit more impactful on Grand Slam TV, but maybe they'll show themselves on AEW Dynamite. I think they're in the States, but let's be honest, they live in the States, so they don't live in Australia. They're inspiration, so it'll be fine for AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. I still think they should have showed them a Grand Slam. It would have been better. Had their debut on Grand Slam. Because that's Australia. But okay, this is like the first house show AEW's done in years. But I want to know your thoughts. Are you happy that Inspiration the Iconics or AEW? Or are you don't care or upset? Take care, guys. Thanks.
Too sweet. Sweet. Two.